Hey there everyone, this is Billy here back on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about a couple of new RC releases and comparing them both. We have yet another mini comparison video. This time comparing the Traxxas Mini Slash to the Arma Mojave Grom. Both of these models are pretty fresh on the RC market, and I thought I would throw my 2 cents in since they are very similar to each other. So let's talk about them. So the Traxxas Mini Slash is currently the latest release from the brand, and with it brought a lot of different opinions. Putting that aside though, the Traxxas Mini Slash was long overdue for an update, and what I mean by that is specifically the 16th scale Slash, as the platform that one was built on was not the most stable thing ever, and it really was time for an update. This new Mini Slash is built off the previous mini releases Traxxas has been dropping lately, such as the Mini Max and the XRT. However, unlike the previous two, the Mini Slash is equipped with shorter A-arms and shocks to accommodate for the short course style. Under the hood, you'll be greeted by the BL2S 3300 kV motor system. This system is rated to handle up to 2-cell LiPo, and it is brushless. For steering, you're given a TRX 2056 servo rated to handle up to 80 ounce-inches of torque and in transit time of 0.23 seconds for 60 degrees. The radio system that comes included is the basic TQI system. Additionally, the RTR does come with a battery and charger, and it is a 3500 mAh 2S LiPo. All that put together will give you 30 miles an hour, and for the size, I would say that's decently quick for a Mini. Coming in at $289.95 feels on par compared to the previous Mini releases. The Arma Mojave Grom has been out now for a while, and since its release, it's had quite a large impression on the RC community. So much so that it has its own class in the MSM Southern Showdown series of races. Previously, we have discussed the Mojave Grom, so I can imagine that many of you are familiar with this rig, however I will still give a rundown anyway just for clarity. Released in December 2024, the Arma Mojave Grom is a part of the new mini set that Arma has been recently releasing, basing its platform off of the Typhon Grom. Or it could have been the other way around, I'm not sure which one came first. Under the hood of the Mojave Grom, you'll find the Spectrum SLT 2-in-1 ESC and receiver combo, as well as the Brush 380 mega motor. And the servo is also metal geared. Additionally, the car does also include a 1400 mAh 2S as well as a charger. All of that put together comes out to $169.99, a pretty competitive price considering the competition. So, the Traxxas Mini Slash versus the Arma Mojave Grom. Pretty on par with each other. They are very similar to each other. They are almost the same exact car, being mini short course trucks, though they do differ in a few key ways. For one, the electronic setups are different. The Arma features a 2-in-1 ESC and receiver combo, and the Traxxas has the components separate. The advantage to having the electronics separated is that if one of the components just so happens to go out on you, you won't have to replace a big 2-in-1 ESC and receiver unit, you can just replace the broken one. Arguably, the largest point of contention in this comparison is the price tag, in which Arma really beats out Traxxas on. The new Mini Slash is over $100 more than the Mojave Grom, for pretty much the exact same specs. Though one thing that I personally believe makes the Mini Slash better than the Grom is the chassis design. On the Grom, the shock towers and the chassis are all one singular piece, so if you break one shock tower, the entire chassis needs to be replaced, and in my opinion, this is where the Mini Slash really beats the Grom. This one difference in design alone makes me like the design of the Mini Slash more, but the Arma does offer a better price overall. I'm not sure if it's the tariffs or what, but I think Traxxas is asking for too much whenever it comes to the Mini Slash. Additionally, the 3S version of the Mojave Grom is $229 and is able to handle more power. Overall, I'd have to say that Arma has the better offer. Not only is the price better than the new Mini Slash, but it's also better than the 16th scale Slash. Honestly, I can't see many RC fans going for the new Mini Slash. The price is too high and the specs are too low to justify the price. Perhaps if the Mini Slash was cheaper and the $289 version was a 3S capable version, I might have thought differently about this comparison. And usually I would say that the higher price justifies the amazing part support, but I just can't see it with this one. If you want my opinion on this comparison, I have a sort of split opinion. On one hand, I can appreciate the lower price from Arma, however, something that I just got informed on recently regarding the Grom was its chassis design. The shock towers are connected to the chassis as a singular piece, and personally to me, I see this as an extremely cheap move from Arma because if you break just one shock tower, you'll soon be replacing the entire chassis instead of just one measly little shock tower. I'm sure there are upgrades out there to fix this issue, though I'm only really concerned with the stock setup in these comparisons. For me, I like the design of the Mini Slash more, but the Mojave Grom just has a better price, honestly. And I honestly think that they both have their place in the market. I'm just not sure which one I would get if I had the choice. Anyway, that's all I have for today, y'all. If you want to know more about any one of these cars, I will leave links in the description down below. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace.